Guy from Seaking Boats, North Queensland. Today we finally have our 400 horsepower V10 Mercury fitted to our pride and joy, our 750W. This vessel has been a labour of love for the last 18 months for my son and I, and we had to wait 4 weeks patiently while the motor and boat sat there to get the parts in from the States to get the motor fitted finally. We did a little test run last week. We couldn't help ourselves. We had a great little weather window. It was absolutely glassed out. We put a little Facebook video on there if you want to check it out, and everything went perfectly. But today, going to do a more in-depth walkthrough, and in a couple of days we'll put it out in the open water while there's a bit of wind around and get those shots in the rough water. Today it's just going to be in the Ross River so we can get some fuel stats for you. Increasing the beam to 2.65 from the 2.42 standard in these boats has increased the weight quite substantially on this boat. So we've gone from the 720 being about 1.7 tonne dry, and this one comes just under 2.1 tonnes. So she's a big girl and a lot of weight to it, which is great for those rough seas and those trips out in the ocean. Still got our double reverse chine design hull, which you see that in action like our other boats, the 720 in rough water. And we've added some planing strakes to the hull as well, which is a new feature. Our friends at Savwinch down in Melbourne, Australian company, have given us a 1500 SS drum winch. So we tested that out in the reef the other day and it worked perfectly. Just got it up really easily. Also fitted the Savwinch stainless steel bowsprit and a 10 kilo stainless steel Savwinch slide anchor, which is a necessity out in the reef just to get the anchor up when it gets really wedged in there. So without further ado, we'll go to the back of the boat and we'll show you this motor. So here she is, the long-awaited Mercury 400 horsepower V10 naturally aspirated motor, and it is so quiet. When we had it out on the reef the other day, it's probably quieter than the Mercury V8 300 horsepower, to be honest. It does have a switch you can toggle through for like a sports exhaust, which makes it sound a bit grunty and gives you a little bit more noise, but other than that she's pretty quiet. We've our friends at Motor Marine Mercury here in Townsville have fitted it with a 20 pitch prop 4-blade, so they're specially made for this motor. Very big prop. We went out last week, we had 450 litres of fuel, 100 litres of water, 5 guys, eskies, everything, and it performed perfectly. But we're going to put it in the Ross River today just to get some fuel stats, as we do with every boat, just as a good comparison. Anyway, I think we'll get this boat in the water and see what she can do. So we are overall absolutely stoked with the Mercury V10 Verado. Premium motor, paid a bit extra for the cold fusion to get it in the white to match the boat, but well worth the money. You'll see here I'm sitting on our rear enclosed deck, which is the prime fishing spot on all of our vessels, both with drop-down ladders. And you can see the extra width we have here. On our new models too, we've extended the back platform out 30 centimetres as an option, so it comes out to about here, gives you a little bit more fishing room as well. You see here I've got access to the main the cutting board, sorry. Double row rocket launchers on the side here, all down the side of the boat with drink holders, so plenty of access to that. I'm standing on our sea deck, which is really a must option. It's really comfortable underfoot, keeps the boat nice and cool and soft underfoot. Always keep it wet, we do when we're fishing, and that way any blood or goo gets on it, it's just an easy wash off with the deck wash. Doesn't get dry and crusty, otherwise you need a toothbrush to get the squid out, for example. Coming through, you'll see how spacious our deck is now, and compared to the 720, it's just so much room. We can have, as you'll see in our video that we posted last week, 5 people on one side, unfortunately only pulling up a Chinaman, but we thought it was a red, and the boat just doesn't move. Double gunnels side storage under here, and all the rod holders, as I said, and comes through, and I'll show you our new rear preparation area. So as an option, I've swapped out the big live bait tank that's traditionally here, and we've built it right out past the supports. So instead of finishing here, it goes right out. For me, this is my son and I's boat, so we don't really need 2 live bait tanks. We still have the secondary live bait tank down there. So we opted to have the big pull-out drawer So that can house all our fishing gear and our gas cooktop for cooking. So basically at night time you spray all this down, it's got the drainage holes, the lights and everything ready for cooking. The bait board comes off, the barbecue goes up, and you turn a work area into a relaxing cooking area. So plenty of room for that. You'll see we've made ample space for battery storage, but with the V10 it has electric steering, which is quite a large motor, so it's taken up a bit of space here, as you can see. So next time we do it, we'll take out that separation panel, and that way we can squeeze in 3 batteries instead of 2. We've got the plumbed deck wash to the side, which is through the hull, fold down two-person seat, so you can fit 4 people across here. And honestly, when we're out on the reef the other day, 4 people sitting across here having a conversation with the V10 going, it's quieter, I think, than the V8 300 horsepower. It's an amazing motor. So you'll see here we've got the deck wash. We've also got 100 litres of fresh water in the tank up the front with its own pump, accessed via here. I'm going to change that slightly on the new boats and have a similar deck coil hose like the saltwater deck wash coming out of here, so it'll reach all the way to the back and the front. And you know, join that with one of those companion portable hot water systems. You have a nice hot shower off the back. It was, again, my wife's idea. Now for us, we've got the reversible seat, so facing forward, facing backwards, and we always fish with a big 160 litre Icytech or similar esky, which normally sits out here on the 720 all day. With this boat we've made a large cavity with no slide out, so we can put a combination of any eskies up there. One, we can fit our big Icytech 160 litre up there, as well as some diving gear and all that sort of stuff up the front. And basically we found that we were fishing, we didn't have the esky out at all. We just kept it up there. We bled our fish in a bucket at the back, and every half an hour or so we pulled the fish out once they were bled, pulled the esky out, put them in, put it back in there. It's out of the sun, out of the way, got all this deck space. We had 5 in the boat that day, which we could easily have 6. We just weren't on top of each other. The extra space, the extra beam has given this boat so much more room. You can sleep across ways too if you want to have a couple extra passengers, or this way. So you lay a couple of swags out. Now if you come up to the Helm, so as I said, we have our freshwater pump for our freshwater shower, the nice leather Helm seat here, the wife's touch with the mahogany timber steering wheel, just to give it a bit of flair. We fitted this boat with zip wakes. They're not fitted yet, we haven't had the chance, but everything's here ready to go with the 16-inch sounder, Fusion Bluetooth music system, obviously the sab winch, drum winch that we spoke about earlier. We swapped out the lights with the touch lights, so you got blue and bright white all throughout the boat, plenty of light. We've actually swapped out to the cheaper bar lights that were supplied by the factory with Mako side lights, and also a big Mako searchlight up the front, so it gives a lot of light at night time. Underwater lights, which toggles through a rainbow of colours and a whole heap of different flashing series you can do. The hatches are a great addition, obviously more ventilation when you're underway, but the middle hydraulic window that opens up in the windscreen is an absolute must. When you're at anchor, or even when you're cruising around on a good day, it just allows so much more ventilation into this boat. Plenty of storage, so we've got the side drawers here, we've got more storage up the front, storage underneath here. The front cabin is substantial, so much bigger than the 720. My son and I sleep in the 720, our feet overhang a little bit. Not so in this boat, we can actually sleep this way or the other way. We've added as an option these extended height bow rails, and the idea behind that was when we're in the shallows, up in the reef, you know, 2-3 metres of water, cooking lunch, a great place to come out and do some casting of lures. So we've put some rod holders in it as well. Added a drop down front boarding lattice for those beach landings, and as I said, the beautiful Sab Winch 1500 SS drum winch. And we've made a hatch over the cavity, so it's nice and flush. Big anchor well here for the drum winch. So you see here the Mako big searchlight at the front, which we swapped out. Huge space up the front, up the top here, all covered in sea deck, so it's nice and comfortable. The side rails can be a little bit higher. We made them only 20 centimetres high on this boat because we thought it might be too high, but in future we'll go back to the standard 25, which just encloses you in here a little bit more, so when you have pillows and stuff around, it's not likely to go blowing off. But a beautiful space to relax like on an afternoon like today. So let's fire this V10 up and see what she sounds like. Nice, let's see how quiet it is. And this is now the sports mode. So if you want to show off a little bit of the boat ramp, it sounds pretty good. So here you kind of hear it in the sports mode. So we'll run through our usual RPM. We'll get up to 3200, which is where it planes. You just see how quiet this motor is. So there we're sitting at 3200 RPM. We're about 33 kilometres an hour, 29 litres per hour, so a little bit better than 1-for-1. We'll take it up to 34. There we have using 32 litres per hour, nearly 33, 32, and 35, 36 kilometres per hour. So again, still sitting at about that 1.1 kilometres per litre. We're sitting at a very comfortable speed. Probably go a little bit more trim, but we're at the end of our run, so we'll turn around and get up to 3600.